folks, and welcome back to the Grumpy Gamer channel. That's it, you guessed it. This is that channel where you get to see this old git talk about modern games. So for today's in-car comments, first thing I wanted to discuss today is about an upcoming game, which is Wanderer Fragments of Fate. This game came out originally on the PSVR1, and it's getting a PSVR2 upgrade. Apparently they're adding, I think they're adding extra sort of scenes to it as well. I've added different sort of features, so it looks like it's going to be really good. Some people say it's going to be the best VR game ever made. Well, I'm not so sure about that one, but I never played it on the PSVR1. It sort of slipped me by, really. But I am looking forward to playing it on the PSVR2. Now, it was slated to come out, I think it was around about the 22nd of June or 27th of June, which is only next month. Unfortunately, it has been delayed. It's been put back now to the 12th of September. We've spoken about delays many times. I haven't got a problem with delays, even when they're frustrating. Ultimately, they're worth it in the end. Now, this one bothers me even less, to be honest, purely because with the amount of games we've had coming out, you know, in its first year of the PSVR2, I can't even keep up with the amount of games that are coming out. You know, I've got so many games that I haven't even finished yet. I mean, in total, I bought the PSVR2 in June last year, and already I've got 37 games for the PSVR2. So I was going to get this Fragments of Fate, but I'm happy for it to be delayed till September. Like I say, it gives me a chance to try and get a lot of the games finished that I've already got, or even put some decent amount of time into them. So I don't mind it at all at this point. Yeah, like I say, it's no problem at all for me, and I'm sure the game will come out even nicer and even more polished. So yeah, no problem with that one at all. Now, there is a game coming out next week that I do want to get, and that's Stride Fates. Now, some of you may have played the original Stride on the PSVR1. I bought it. I didn't really get on with it, mainly because of the controls on the Move controllers. I found it very clunky. You know, this is a parkour game, so it should be nice and fluid. The movement should be easy, but I just found it so clunky, and yeah, I just gave up with it in the end. However, this one does look to be a lot nicer. There's guns added into it as well. There's a campaign, I think, this time, whilst the first one, just Strides, or whatever it's called, Stride, there was no campaign. It was more sort of time trials, that sort of thing. So this one does look a lot nicer, and I'm definitely down for it. I think it comes out the 16th next week. So I will watch a couple of the reviews just before I pick it up. So on day of release, I've just checked through a few of them, seeing what people are saying before I dive in. But all being well, yeah, I'm going to pick it up on day of release, and I'll let you guys know how I get on with it. Now, you know, one of the other things I want to talk about this morning, my God, what is going on with both Xbox and PlayStation? It's just never ending now with the basically free fall of the gaming industry. You know, first of all, a few days ago, last week sometime, we had the announcement that if you're playing Helldivers 2, you've got to set up a PSN account if you're playing on PC. Unfortunately, I think there's 177 countries in the world where you can't set up a PSN account. You're not able to. So literally those countries, that's it. You can't play Helldivers if you're on PC. So to me, this was a massive, massive own goal for Sony. You know, a lot of people have kicked up fuss about this, which I understand. All of a sudden you can't play a game you've bought because you can't set up a PlayStation account. You know, I mean, we know there have been games for years where you've got to set up an EA account or whatever, like with COD, you've got to set up a different account and put in your email. Yes, they're a pain in the neck, but it's not that much of a big deal. However, this one is, because like I say, if you've bought a game and now literally you can't play it because you can't set up a PSN account, yeah, I think I'd be a bit upset. However, I have heard in the last 2-3 days I haven't had it totally confirmed yet, but apparently Sony have listened to the community and they have backpedaled on this. So hopefully they'll be able to reinstate those people who had it taken away from them in those 177 countries. But like I say, I haven't had it confirmed yet, but I'm hoping this is the case because, like I say, otherwise this is a massive own goal for PlayStation. You know, Sony are, one minute they can be really consumer friendly, especially if their back's up against the wall. They become the most consumer friendly corporation there is. But as soon as they start, you know, getting a bit complacent and things are going their way, they tend to reverse that and not be very consumer friendly. So we have to keep sort of PlayStation on their toes, really. Which brings me on to the next subject about Xbox. Oh dear, now so many people are saying that's it. They've thrown the towel in. This is the end of Xbox. They're going to make games, but they'll have a niche games console for people who really want to play it on the Xbox. But everything's going to be coming over to the PlayStation. And this is all because more studios have been closed down. I think there's another 4 studios that have been closed down. One of the studios is the ones, I think it's Tango Gameworks, is it? Or Tango Studios, something like that. The people that made Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah, they're being closed down. That's it, finished. And a lot of people are angry about this, but come on, folks, you've got to understand, when there's a big takeover of any company, I've seen it many times over the years, a company doesn't buy another company and then just leave it. They're buying it because they think they can run it better, which means a lot of restructuring. Now, like I say, I've seen it in previous, over the years with different companies, different acquisitions. Normally they wait, they buy the company, they tell everybody there's going to be no changes, no, everything's going to go along as normal, don't worry, which is always a lie. Normally within about 12 to 18 months, that's when changes start happening. And, you know, let's face it, this is what's happening within Xbox. I don't even think Phil Spencer knows what he's doing at this point. He spends more time playing his Xbox than he does working. Apparently he played for 23 weeks, basically solid on his Xbox last year, over 900 hours or something like that on his Xbox. I think it's even more than that. But so clearly he's just playing his Xbox more than running the company, I think. But like I say, people are getting upset by it, but this is just normal for any sort of acquisition. You are going to have restructuring. They will be closing some studios down and sort of bunching a load together, I expect, to make a new studio. Who knows? But of course, this is causing such sort of panic and confusion with what on earth is going on with Xbox. And this is where I'm talking about Sony, you know, getting a bit cocky and becoming less consumer friendly. I do think, we've spoken about it before, I think if it is the demise of Xbox now, Sony are just going to go back to their old ways of totally not being consumer friendly because they've got nobody to fight against. You know, let's face it, Nintendo isn't competition for them. If Xbox goes, the only competition you've got is PC. And then on the other side, on the VR side, you've got Meta and a couple of others, the Pico and whatever. But the main competition's Meta. But as for the console itself, if there's not going to be any competition, I dread to think how Sony are going to act, to be honest with you. Yes, it'll be nice getting more and more Xbox games coming over. You know, I would love to see Gears 6 come out and come over to the PlayStation. That would be great. Although I haven't seen much about Gears 6 at all. Doesn't seem to be doing anything at the minute. I mean, I haven't even turned my Xbox on for so long at this point. I don't know whether it'd even work if I did try and turn it on. But no, it would be good to see games coming over, but I'm just a bit cautious of, you know, how's Sony going to be if Xbox does go away. Well, let me know what you think, folks. All of what's going on in the gaming industry in a minute at the moment, put it down in the comments. Now, before I go, and thank you for making it this far, I do appreciate you being here with me and listening to my nonsense. But I must just tell you guys, last night we had the first round in the World Series Manufacturers Cup. And I actually did way better than I thought I was going to do. This was on the Nürburgring, the 24-hour Nürburgring. We had 3 laps of the Nürburgring. You had to do 1 pit stop, mandatory pit stop. Anyway, I did the qualifying. I got 2nd position in the qualifying. I was only half a second behind pole position. And I know I would have got pole position other than on my last lap, I crashed. And yeah, missed out by half a second. But I still, like I say, ended up 2nd on the grid. As the race unfolded, I got smacked off. Not intentionally, it just happened. I dropped down to, I think, about 11th, 12th. And then I clawed all the way back up. And I finished 2nd in the race. And I got the fastest lap overall. So check out there, you can see. So I was so chuffed with that. And then I checked the scores this morning, and it actually showed that in my local area, I got a 1st, which is top 5% of the drivers. And then in my main area, I got a 1st, which is top 5% of racers. So I was really chuffed with that. We've got the next race on Saturday in the GR4 cars. So as you know, I'm contracted to Lamborghini. So I've got 2 Lambos from them, the GR3 and the GR4. I can't remember what track it's on, but I'm going to be practicing that tonight and tomorrow, ready for Saturday's race. So wish me luck. Anyway, folks, that's enough nonsense from me today. I hope you have a fantastic day, play some great games. And until next time, I shall see you guys on the other side. Adios.